Right now, NBC News legal analyst Danny Cevallos, also moderator for Meet the Press, and NBC News political director Chuck Todd. Thank you guys so much for joining us. I'm not sure if you heard the last part of that conversation, but there is a big difference in the optics, a big difference in the procedure, I think, when it comes to federal versus what we saw in Manhattan. But this is home turf for former President Donald Trump. Danny, Chuck, how do you see this playing out starting next week and then going forward at that federal courthouse?
Yeah, the arraignment is going to be a very uneventful event. I mean, other than the fact it's probably the most significant arraignment in the history of federal criminal law. But procedurally, it's mostly a non-event, at least in terms of substance. It's, you plead not guilty. You get the charges read to you formally. If you want to, you can have that waived. But after that, it's a bit anticlimactic because then the case proceeds into the pretrial discovery phase. So procedurally, not a whole lot happening. It shouldn't be a very long affair. What I will be looking for is whether the court imposes any pretrial conditions of any kind. That's the kind of thing we should be looking for. But much has been made of whether or not the district here there in South Florida is going to be favorable to Trump or not. Look, the bottom line is the jury instructions are essentially going to be the same whether you're in federal court in Florida. They're going to be the same whether you're in federal court in Manhattan. And while it's true Manhattan or D.C. are probably unfavorable juries for the former president, the bottom line is this. Federal criminal court is not a place defendants want to be. Your odds of being convicted are over 90%, well over 90%, and they have been for many years. If you're indicted in criminal court, the odds are you are going to be guilty, and the odds are you are going to prison because there really aren't a lot of federal summary offenses. They exist. I've heard of them. They exist in theory and rumor, but not really. Most criminal defendants in federal court are facing almost outlandish odds. And that's why folks should look at this indictment in federal court much more seriously than Alvin Bragg's indictment in state court in New York.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.